The first question is, why do you believe in a white state, and how is that different from the KKK?
Um, this is a good way to explain it, is that in life, you can have a 10,000 foot view of things, that is the view from the mountaintops, and you can also have a ground level view of things. In terms of what am I doing right now, I'm raising consciousness, I'm doing interviews, I'm communicating with people, I'm answering an email, getting coffee with someone, etc. Now, if you kind of move up, say 100 feet, this is what I want to accomplish. I want to influence politics and influence culture. And I think we have an amazing opportunity to do that with Donald Trump. Now, when you go up to the mountaintops and you start thinking about what do we ultimately want? What do I want my great grandchildren to experience? For me, it's something like the revival of the Roman Empire. So it would be a big state for all Europeans. And this is an ideal. It's an ideal like leftists in the 19th century had an ideal of communism. It's like Jews in the 19th century had an ideal of Zionism, an ideal of a Jewish state in Israel, in Palestine. These were big ideas that people dared to dream. This is our dream for an identitarian. It's that big ideal of reviving a great Europe. So that's what it is. It's not something that's going to happen tomorrow morning. It's probably not something that's going to happen in the next few years. It's something to strive for. It's a telos. So that's what I'm about. But in terms of what I can do now, more immediately, that ground level view or that 100-foot view, that is to try to raise consciousness and to try to influence people. And that's what I'm engaged with. That's what I'm engaged in effectively every day.
And how do you feel that Donald Trump has enabled the alt-right, even for people that may not know what the alt-right is?
Sure. Donald Trump is not the alt-right. I should say that first. Donald Trump is the first step towards identity politics in the United States. So most Republicans, we think about John McCain or Mitt Romney, when you ask them, what are you about? What does your campaign mean? They would say something, we want to bring about capitalism, we want to limit government, or we want to overthrow this government in the Middle East and install a democracy or whatever. This is what we're used to. Donald Trump has been fundamentally different. He's saying, I'm going to speak with your voice. I'm going to stick up for you. I'm going to be your champion. And so Donald Trump's campaign has been, at its heart, maybe not explicitly, but at its heart, it's been about identity. It's been about a great man sticking up for his voters. And I think Donald Trump truly cares about Americans. I think he definitely cares about the people who voted for him. And I think Donald Trump assumes that America ultimately is a nation derived from Europe. It has an Anglo-Protestant core, to be sure, but it's actually a nation that has been for many, many different Europeans. And this is something that we all assume, but I think in the 21st century, 2016, it's actually something that we have to think about explicitly. And because we live in a multicultural world, we live in a multicultural country, we live in a country where currently European Americans are being dispossessed. That's happening very slowly. It's not something. It's not happening necessarily in a violent manner. It's not, but it is happening. We're being demographically dispossessed, and we're losing our culture. We're losing our sense of being. I think this background gave birth to the Trump phenomenon in a fundamental way.